there's an old saying about second marriages. It's the triumph of hope over experience. And so I think with Lutsenko, it's, again, the victory of hope over experience. We hope for the best. Look, Lutsenko, during the Yushchenko administration, was always the guy that was going after the bad guys. He went after Kolesnikov. He was, he was the guy who was always on the edge of trying to put the bandits in prison. So for that, he won in essentially maybe not let's say a green light from the West to become prosecutor general. Maybe let's call it a yellow light, not a green light. So he can cross to the intersection if he does it quickly. But it wasn't a red light because his history suggests that he has been a person who has been on the right side of the issues. People were worried about he's too close to Poroshenko, his friendship with Poroshenko. It became quite clear by the fact that Poroshenko kept Shokin in the post as long as he did, that Poroshenko was not going to easily surrender the post to certainly not a political opponent. And in fact, he wanted to have a close ally in the post of prosecutor general. So hence, Yuriy Lutsenko became the prosecutor general. So we will see. We will hope for the best. And, after Shokin, the good thing is he has, much lower bar to achieve, to show results. But nobody knows. So in 6 months from now, things will be clear if there's going to be any real changes, any real reforms, or it's going to be more of the status quo. Another thing to watch this summer, there's supposed to be a vote in July on judicial reform. Now, it passed in the first reading. On the second vote, they have to get 300 votes, and they're obviously quite a bit short of 300 votes at this time. Now, if that judicial reform passes, and it's by no means a perfect piece of legislation, it's quite bureaucratic, but it's better than the remnants of this old Soviet bureaucracy that Ukraine currently has. So it is an upgrade. That could also help strengthen the role of the prosecutor general if you cut through a lot of this, Soviet-era red tape in the judicial system. But we'll know that. This question will be much easier to answer by autumn. Well, let's put it this way. Yuriy Lutsenko was on Euromaidan every day. He was all 17 days of the Orange Revolution. Yuriy Lutsenko was there also. Now, he's certainly capable. Yes, he doesn't have a legal background and so forth. Now, the agreement, as I understand, was for People's Front, Yatsenyuk's, one of Yatsenyuk's young lawyers by the name of Storozhuk, who's a member of parliament. He's supposed to come in as first deputy prosecutor. He has a legal background and a good record, a good legal record. He understands the law well. So essentially what you're going to have is a two-headed prosecutor. You're going to have Lutsenko for the political side as the president's guy. Then you're going to have Storozhuk, who's Yatsenyuk and the People's Front guy, actually doing the actual casework. Not ideal. No questions about that. We ideally would have a tough law and order prosecutor, maybe like a Rudy Giuliani in the 80s, going after the bandits on the Ivan Boskis on Wall Street kind of thing. That would be ideal, but we don't have that. As Kravchuk said, Mayamo testo Mayamo. So look, Yuriy Lutsenko is capable of administrating the office. He's capable of running the prosecutor's office from a management standpoint. If he gets a good first deputy prosecutor like Storozhuk or maybe someone else, Karpuntsov, for example, then yeah, he could actually have an effective prosecutor's office. The question's not about is the guy smart enough? Did he go to the right schools? Does he have the right diploma? The question is about political will, and that's the number 1, 2, and 3 problems with the prosecutor going back many years. So historically, under Yushchenko, for example, and when he was interior minister, Yuriy Lutsenko had the political will to go after the bad guys. Will he have it today? Does he still have it today as prosecutor general? Let's do this interview in November and we'll find out. Look, everyone would love for there to be justice for the 100 Ukrainians who lost their lives on Euromaidan, and the snipers and so forth. It's kind of like who shot Kennedy. It's one of those things that probably will never get solved, or if it is solved, it's going to be classified for 75 years, or it'll pass our lifetimes. So I think people have resigned themselves to there will be no justice for the lives of the 100, other than for Ukraine to succeed as a European nation. That would be the best justice that Ukraine can offer at the moment. Now, yeah, people are upset about corruption. I mean, every day I hear people who stood on Euromaidan, people who were supportive, who gave money, who gave their time, who gave food, who faced down the police, they said, nothing's changed. We're still having to deal with the same bureaucrats, the same bribes, the same corruption, the same pressure, the same nepotism. So that's the frustration, is that nothing has changed. And so then people say, well, then why did the 100 people die if nothing's changed? And that's where the frustration comes in.